Good morning, Year 5. So today we are going to be creating our own lost thing in our English. So before we begin the lesson, we'd just like you to have a go at this starter, which is all about apostrophes. So look at the table below. Each box contains an apostrophe to show possession. You must decide if the possession in each case is by a singular or plural noun, and colour in each box according to the key. So the key is blue for singular possessive apostrophe and green for plural possessive apostrophe. If you would like some extra guidance, because we know it's been a while since we've looked at this punctuation point, we've also included a YouTube link to a video for some extra guidance. So when you're ready to move on, you can press play for the answers which are on the following slide. So, as I mentioned before, today we're going to be creating our own lost thing, inspired by the lost thing in Sean Tan's book. Before we do that, let's just have a quick recap and think about some ideas. So last week we did a few short character descriptions, one about feeling and one about the features of the lost thing. So look at the picture and consider these questions. How does he move? What does he look like? What features does he have and why? So I'm going to give you a minute to think about those, and when you're ready to move on, press play. So keep all of those ideas in your head, because we'll be using them as we progress through the lesson. On this slide, we've included some pictures from the book which show other lost things. So in your own time, you can examine these and you may get some inspiration from them for when it comes to creating your own lost thing. So the first question we are going to consider is, how does your lost thing move? Now remember, this is entirely made up and these are your own ideas. So on scrap paper or whiteboard, describe how your lost thing moves with words or phrases, and save your notes for the main activity later on in the lesson. Now, have a go at doing this independently, and when you're ready, press play and I will model some words and phrases as well. So I'm going to model some words and phrases to describe how the lost thing in the book moves. And you can magpie some ideas, but remember, this is your own lost thing, so we don't want to be copying directly as I'm describing the lost thing in the book. So shuffling, creeping to his destination, scuttling past the bland faces, no one hears the clang of metal or the scrape of claws as he scurries past, wriggling and slithering octopus legs. Now remember, you can magpie some ideas, but try and answer these questions independently before watching me model ideas. So the next question we are going to consider is, what does it look like? So have a go at doing this independently, and when you're ready, press play to watch me model an example. So we want to think about the colour. So a tomato, red, and the metal shell. So describing the colour and what's it made out of. We might want to think about the legs, so writhing tentacles, 4 legs. Also its head, so emanating from his head are spikes, flames of crimson metal. I've got a metaphor in there as well. And a teapot shaped body, so the shape of his body or its body. 2 metal pincers protruding from his base. And finally, 2 tinkling bells. Okay, so make sure you've got all of your ideas written down before moving on. So the next thing we want to think about is, what do its features do? So thinking about its tentacles, about its pincers, about its bells, the things that we've talked about in the previous slide. What do they do? What purpose do they have? So have a go at putting all your ideas onto your paper, and when you're ready to move on, press play. So we should already have some idea of how to do this, as one of our lessons last week was very similar. We were talking about its features and the uses of the features. So for example, shell. Shell protects him and stops him from getting wet. Writhing tentacles. And his tentacles help him run faster. The bells, which are attached to the pincers, tinkle a tune to grab people's attention. Now remember, Year 5, you can use your ideas from last week. I know you were looking at the character of the lost thing, but you can also use some ideas, steal some ideas from last week's work. So doors, which cover his body, they provide ample storage, so you can store lots of things in all those doors. The metal pincers help the lost thing navigate his way. And the smoking pipe, which peeks from his side, allows a furnace to burn inside. Okay, so I've modelled some ideas there, and feel free to magnify some ideas, especially if you're finding that activity challenging. So we've got all of our ideas now. So here is the main activity that we're going to do. So using a whole A4 page, draw your own lost thing, then label it. So for bronze, label your lost thing with the notes you have made in the previous slide. So how does it move, what does it look like, and what do its features do? For silver, as bronze, but include some similes to help describe it. And for gold, as silver, and include some metaphors to help describe it as well. There's also a challenge that you can read through in your own time. Now let's have a look at the following slide to see how we would like you to lay it out. So for example, here are the different ideas that we've written around the picture of the lost thing. So in that place, you will have drawn your own lost thing. And when you've finished, have a go at writing a reflection. What is your next step and why? Okay, I hope you have a lovely day, Year 5, and see you soon. Okay, bye.